Hey guys, this is Ms.Hong. Today's March 26th, Thursday. Yay, today, and you have one more day to the weekend, right? So let's get it. So we did the inverse function application yesterday, and many of you having trouble with the word problem like this, number 2 and 3. So I thought you just need more practice on the word problem. So before you find the inverse function, let's get the input and output clear. All right. So I assign a quiz on Alex, but actually that's not a quiz. It's just practice for you. Okay. So you will do 10 questions in Alex, and that looks like this. So today's lesson, I'm gonna go over 3 questions in Alex, and probably you will get different question, not like this, but same type of question. All right. So before you do the inverse function, if you understand input output and then what happened if you get inverse function, what's your input and output for the inverse function, then that will be more easier way. Okay. So let's look at the question. So number 1, the sugar sweet company is going to transport its sugar to market. It will cost $5,500 to rent trucks plus $150 for each ton of sugar transported. The cost is what? The cost C in dollar for transporting N tons is given by the following function. So in this case, guys, look, when you look at this one, what is your input? Input, that's in the parentheses, right? So your input, that is N. This is your input, right? So tons, this is the input. And this dollar, the total cost, right? This is your output. Right? So input and output for the original function, that one, right? And then look at A, guys. A said, if the total cost is $9,250, total cost is $9,250. How many tons is the company transporting, right? So think about it, guys. You got this number 9,250. Where do you need to put that one? For C or for N? That's the money, right? So you need to use its money. So that's the output. The question gives you the output, right? So let's set it up the equation for A. So, from this equation, I will put this 9,050 into C of N, because your total cost is 9,250. So you make it 9,250 equals 5,500 plus 150 N, like this. And then you know how to solve this linear equation, right? So we need to find N. So we isolate all other values, right? So minus 5,500 minus 5,500 cancel, and that is 9,050. Then that's 5, 0, 8, 10. So it's 7 here, and 3,750 equals, bring that down, 150 N. And we want to get N, so you divide it by 150. Cancel. Then you get, let me see, 3,750 divided by 150. Then you get 25. This is 25, right? So 25 tons. So you will get answers like that. Okay? So literally, we have this original functions, but you put 9,250 into C. So if you get the inverse function of that, so let's make it simple. C equals 5,500 plus 150n, right? From here, if we find the inverse function of that, then will be C minus 5500 divided by 150 equals n, right? So from here, you know the cost, so put cost here, and you do this calculation, then you will get the number of tones. So that's the inverse function of that, right? And then look at B. What is the total cost of transporting 13 tones? So 13 tones, that is what? 13 tones. Then what? Tone, go to tone. Which one has tone? N tones, right? So instead of N, you plug in 13. So into here, you put 13. So you get C equals 5500 plus 150, 13, like that. And let's calculate that number. And you see this calculator button over here? That means you can use a calculator. And you know what this one is, right? That is example. So you can access example. If you forget it during the quiz, you can click this. Then you will see similar problem. And you can get some hint from it. Alright, and by the way, I'm going to calculate this one. So 150 times by 13, then that's 1950, and you need to add 5,500. Then you get $7,450, right? So like this, guys. So you will have those practice on Alex. 10 problems. Okay? So let's see. Number two. So there's a problem. A railroad crew can lay 5 miles of track each day. They need to lay 145 miles of track. The length L in miles. So that's the thing. That is left to lay after D days. D days is given by the following function. This, yeah. Right? So L of D equals 145 minus 5D. Okay? So like they go 5 miles every day, right? Then after 1 day, then they go 5 miles, right? They can lay 5 miles. Then the leftover will be 140, like this. So that's a function like that. Just make sure L is your output, your input, days. Depends on days, how many miles left, right? So this is your output, input, output, right? And then, look, how many days will it take the crew to lay all the track? All the track. Then how many? So the crew lay down all the track, then there's no leftover, right? No leftover. So you know what? That means no left over. So your L will be what? The length is, the remaining length will be 0. Okay? So I'll put 0 for L, and I'm going to solve the equation. Like this. Because L was what, guys? The length that is left to lay, right? After D days. So, nothing left. Because the crew lay all the track. So, nothing left. So, we set it up like this. And then same thing. We solve for D, right? D is here. I don't know what's D. So, let's do it. Then you get negative 145 equals negative 5D. Because I did this. Minus 145 minus 145. Okay, so you got this one. And then to get D, you divide it by negative 5 divided by negative 5. Cancel. Negative, negative cancels. And you need to do 145 divided by 5. Then you get 29. So it takes 29 days to lay all the track. So you put 29 for this. Okay? And also, same way, we can get the inverse function. L equals 145 minus 5D. Right? Then you subtract 145 to get the inverse, or solve it for D. So you get L minus 145 negative 5D. Oops. And then I want to get D, so you divide it by negative 5 divided by negative 5, then you will get the answer. So D equals L minus 145 over negative 5. So this is my inverse function, right? And then once you get your inverse function, you put 0 into L, then you will get the answer, right? And then B is, how many miles of track does the crew have left to lay after 18 days? 18 days, you see it? 18 days, so that's D, right? So now you put 18 into D, all right? So you put 18 into D. So let me do it here. Then you get L equals 145 minus 5 times 18, like that. So let's calculate it. 5 times 18, then that's 90. So 145 minus 90, 55. So left 55 miles, like this. So literally, you know, A and B, like for one of the thing, you put the number to here, D, or to the input, and then one of the question, you put the number for the output. So it depends on the question, but you have this two questions, and then look at the thing, or you can get some hint from the unit. Days. So D is 18, like that. All right. Last one. Oh, I need to cut the video, guys. I'll be back.